What if the peace you've been searching for has nothing to do with getting better, doing more, or finally figuring it all out? You've tried so many things, the morning routines, the mindfulness apps, the promises to wake up earlier, think more clearly, become the version of yourself who has it all together. And still, beneath all that effort, there's this quiet exhaustion, this feeling that you're carrying something heavy you can't name. You've read the books on spiritual awakening, watched the guided meditations, learned the breathing techniques. You've become so good at collecting wisdom, quotes saved, practices started and abandoned, moments of clarity that fade by evening. And somewhere in all that accumulation, peace became one more thing to achieve, one more goal on an endless list. The irony is almost cruel. You're exhausted from trying to find rest. Here's what we rarely say out loud. Inner peace doesn't come from adding one more practice to your life. It doesn't live at the end of a checklist or on the other side of self-improvement. It arrives when you finally set something down. You've been holding on so tightly to control, to certainty, to the belief that you're not enough yet. And that grip itself has become the weight. This isn't about fixing what's broken. It's about recognizing what you never needed to carry in the first place. About softening your hands and letting some things fall away. So let us begin, slowly. Not by reaching for more, but by noticing what we've been holding, by asking gently, what if peace was always here, waiting beneath the weight? Stay with me. Breathe once before we continue. 1. Let go of the need to control life. There's a particular kind of exhaustion that comes from trying to hold everything in place. You wake up and immediately start managing your thoughts, your schedule, other people's reactions, the future that hasn't arrived yet. Your hands are always reaching, always adjusting, always bracing for what might go wrong. And beneath all that effort is a quiet, persistent fear. If I let go, everything will fall apart. But here's what we rarely admit. The tightness itself is the suffering, not the uncertainty, not the change. The suffering lies in that clenched fist, in the belief that safety comes from holding on harder. There's an old story of a person trying to carry water in their cupped hands. The tighter they squeezed to keep it from spilling, the faster it ran through their fingers. Only when they softened their grip, when they held their hands gently open, could the water rest there, still and clear. You've felt this, haven't you? The way control promises peace, but delivers only more vigilance. The way you rehearse conversations that haven't happened, plan for outcomes you can't predict, try to force life into a shape that feels manageable. And still, despite all that effort, things unfold in their own way. The job doesn't come through, the relationship shifts, your body ages, life moves like water, indifferent to your grip. What am I trying to control right now because I am afraid? Sit with that question, not to solve it, but to recognize it, to see how much energy you've been spending on an impossible task, making the uncontrollable controllable. Buddhist wisdom doesn't ask you to abandon responsibility or stop caring. It invites you to notice the difference between responding to life and trying to dominate it, between being present with what is and exhausting yourself fighting what cannot be changed. The peace you're looking for doesn't live on the other side of perfect control. It lives in the breath you take when you finally, even just for a moment, let your shoulders drop. When you stop forcing, when you allow yourself to meet this moment, not as it should be, not as you wish it were, but as it actually is. Can I hold this moment gently, the way I would hold water? From tightening to softening, from forcing to allowing. Not because you've mastered anything, but because you're tired of the fight. And maybe, in that tiredness, there's a kind of wisdom waiting. 2. Let go of the belief that you must become better to deserve peace. You've been working on yourself for a long time now. The books, the practices, the promises you've made to wake up earlier, eat cleaner, think more positively, and somewhere along the way, self-improvement stopped feeling like care and started feeling like a quiet kind of punishment, as if the person you are right now isn't quite enough, as if peace is something you'll earn once you finally get it right. But here's the subtle cruelty hidden in that belief. You're always becoming, never arriving. There's always one more habit to build, one more flaw to fix, one more version of yourself waiting just out of reach. And in the meantime, this moment, this ordinary, imperfect, still breathing moment gets rejected. Not good enough. Not there yet. A student once asked a teacher, "When will I be enlightened?" The teacher looked at him and said, "When you stop waiting to be." You know this feeling, don't you? The way you measure yourself against some imagined future self who meditates every morning, never loses patience, always knows what to say. And the real you, the one who forgot to meditate again, who snapped at someone you love, who still carries old wounds, feels like a problem to be solved. There's a particular violence in this that we don't often name. It's not the loud violence of hatred or cruelty. It's quieter, the violence of constant evaluation, of waking up each day and immediately assessing whether you're good enough yet. The violence of treating your own presence as conditional, as something that must be justified by progress. You've become both the judge and the defendant in a trial that never ends, where the verdict is always, not yet. Try harder, become more. And what gets lost in all this striving is the simple, radical possibility that you might already be complete. Not perfect, not finished growing, but complete, whole in your incompleteness, enough in your ongoing becoming. What if nothing about me needs fixing right now? Not because you're perfect, not because growth doesn't happen, but because the striving itself has become the obstacle. The constant pressure to improve has become another way of saying, you are not acceptable as you are. Buddhist wisdom speaks of lotus flowers blooming in mud, not despite the mud, but because of it. Not after the mud is cleaned away, but right there, rooted in what is messy and real. Peace doesn't wait for you to transcend your humanity. It rests in the willingness to meet yourself exactly as you are, with something softer than judgment. Can I be here, in this unfinished life, without needing to defend or improve it? From self-pressure to self-permission. Not because you've stopped caring, but because you've realized that the peace you've been chasing was never going to be found at the end of a self-improvement checklist. It was always here, resting beneath the noise of striving, waiting for you to stop running long enough to notice. You don't need to become someone else to deserve rest. You already are. 3. Let go of comparison and the invisible race. You scroll through someone's life for 30 seconds and suddenly your own feels smaller. They're further along. They've figured something out. They're thriving in ways you're not, and the quiet ache that follows isn't envy exactly. It's something closer to failure. As if you've been running a race you didn't know you'd entered, and you're losing. But here's what makes this suffering so strange. The race was never real. No one else is keeping score. No one handed you a timeline with milestones you were supposed to hit by now, and yet you measure yourself constantly against their career, their calm, their seemingly effortless lives, and come up short again and again. There's a story of two seeds planted in the same garden, One sprouted quickly, reaching toward the sun within days. The other remained underground for weeks, its roots spreading deep and silent. The first seed looked down and thought the second had failed. But the gardener knew. They were simply becoming different things in different time. You've felt this, haven't you? The way someone else's success can make your own life feel like evidence of something wrong. The way you look at people your age or younger and wonder why you're not there yet. Why you haven't healed faster, achieved more, found what they seem to have found. Whose timeline am I living by? Not your own. Somewhere along the way, you absorb the idea that life unfolds on a schedule, that there's a right pace for growth, for healing, for becoming, and when you don't match it, when your journey looks different, slower, messier, you feel insufficient. But Buddhist wisdom speaks of this gently. The flower doesn't resent the tree for being taller. The river doesn't envy the mountain for being still. Each thing moves according to its nature, its season, its particular unfolding. Comparison only makes sense if we believe we're all supposed to be the same thing. What if my pace is not a problem to solve, but simply the rhythm of my own becoming, from insufficiency to enoughness? Not because you've suddenly caught up or achieved something comparable, but because you've stopped running a race that was never yours to begin with. Because you've looked at your life exactly as it is, with all its detours and delays, and recognized it as enough. Someone else's blooming doesn't diminish yours. Their light doesn't make your own less real. 4. Let go of tying your worth to productivity. You wake up with a list already forming in your mind. The things you should accomplish, the tasks that will prove today wasn't wasted. And if the day slips by without much to show for it, if you rest, if you pause, if you simply exist without producing, there's that familiar tightness in your chest. That quiet voice that says, you didn't earn this breath. You didn't do enough to justify taking up space. It's exhausting, isn't it? The way you've learned to measure your value by what you complete. The way stillness feels like failure. The way even your rest has to be productive, optimized, purposeful, leading somewhere. As if your worth is something that must be continually proven, earned through output, validated by achievement. A monk was asked why he sat so still each morning. He said, "When I sit, I'm not trying to become peaceful. The sitting itself is peace." You know this tension well. The guilt that creeps in during quiet moments. The restlessness when you're not moving towards something. The inner negotiation, I can rest, but only after I finish this. I can be still, but only if I've earned it. And beneath it all, the unspoken belief that you are only as valuable as what you produce. How do I speak to myself on days when I do less? Listen to that voice. Is it kind? Or does it measure, judge, compare today's output to yesterday's, find you lacking? Buddhist wisdom reminds us, the tree doesn't apologize for winter. The field doesn't feel guilty for lying fallow. There are seasons of growth and seasons of rest, and both are necessary. Both are whole. Stillness isn't wasted time, it's where roots deepen, where clarity returns, where life gathers itself before the next unfolding. What if my worth was never tied to what I accomplish, but simply to the fact that I am here, breathing, from tension to inhabiting the moment? Not because you've stopped caring about your work or your contribution, but because you've recognized that your value doesn't fluctuate based on your daily productivity. You are not a machine to be optimized. You are a human being, worthy of rest, worthy of stillness, worthy of existing without justification. Some days you will do much. Some days you will do little. And on both kinds of days, you will still be enough. 5. Let go of fearing uncertainty and the future. You've been waiting for clarity, for the situation to resolve itself, for the path to become obvious, for some kind of sign that tells you it's safe to move forward. But the clarity never quite arrives, and in the meantime, your mind spins through scenarios, rehearsing futures that haven't happened, preparing for outcomes you can't predict. The uncertainty sits in your chest like a stone, and you think, I just need to know. Then I can breathe. But here's what the fear doesn't tell you. Certainty isn't coming, not in the way you want it. Life doesn't hand you a map before the journey. It unfolds step by step, breath by breath, mostly in the dark. And while you're busy waiting for guarantees, this moment, the only one that's actually real, passes by unnoticed. A traveler asked a guide, "How will I know I'm on the right path?" The guide said, "You're standing on it now." You recognize this, don't you? The way you postpone living until you feel certain. The way you hold your breath, waiting for life to settle into something predictable, something safe. Meanwhile, your body tenses, your mind races ahead, and the simple fact of being here alive, breathing, present, gets lost in the anxiety of what might come. There's a particular kind of waiting that steals years from us. Not the waiting of patience, but the waiting of suspension where life is put on hold until some imagined future clarity arrives. You tell yourself, when I know what to do about my career, then I'll relax. When I'm sure about this relationship, then I'll fully show up. When I understand what my life is supposed to be, then I'll start living it. And in the meantime, days turn into months, and you realize you've been living in the waiting room of your own life, watching time pass through a window. The uncertainty you're avoiding isn't going away. It's woven into the very fabric of being alive. And the peace you're seeking doesn't live on the far side of knowing. It lives in the willingness to take the next step without seeing the entire staircase. What am I postponing until I feel certain? The conversation you've been avoiding, the decision you can't quite make, the life you're not fully inhabiting because you're waiting for it to make sense first. And beneath all of it, the belief that peace requires knowing what happens next. But Buddhist wisdom offers something quieter. The present moment is the only place life is actually happening. Not in the imagined future, not in the carefully rehearsed scenario. Here, in this breath, in this still uncertain, still unfolding now. What if I let myself be here, even without knowing what comes next? From anxiety to quiet trust. Not because the future suddenly became clear or because you stopped caring about what happens, but because you've recognized that certainty was never the prerequisite for peace. You've been standing on the path all along, even when it felt like you were lost. Some days you'll know where you're going, most days you won't. And on both kinds of days, you can still be here fully, softly, without needing tomorrow to arrive before you allow yourself to rest. 6. Let go of the need to always be okay. You've learned to manage your face, your voice, your presence. When someone asks how you are, you say fine even when you're not. You smooth over the exhaustion, the confusion, the quiet ache that's been sitting in your chest for days. Because somewhere along the way, you absorb the idea that being well-adjusted means being consistently calm, that spiritual growth means never falling apart, that being a grown adult means having yourself together. But the truth is, you're tired. Not just physically, though that too. You're tired of performing stability, tired of smiling through the fog, tired of pretending that you've got it all figured out when most days you're just making it through. A student came to a teacher in tears, ashamed of their sadness. The teacher said, "The sky doesn't apologize for clouds. You know this performance well, don't you? The way you rush to fix yourself when emotions arise that don't fit the image of who you think you should be. The way you push down irritability, fatigue, grief, as if acknowledging them would mean you've failed at being peaceful, as if being human requires a steady emotional state, unmarked by weather. What am I forcing myself to feel differently right now? Maybe it's the sadness you think you should be over by now. Maybe it's the anxiety that doesn't match your meditation practice. Maybe it's just the simple, unglamorous reality that today you feel heavy, and no amount of positive thinking is lifting it. Buddhist wisdom doesn't ask you to transcend your humanity. It invites you to meet it, to recognize that confusion, fatigue, and emotional fluctuation are not obstacles to peace. They are part of the landscape of being alive. The ocean has storms, the sky has clouds, and you too are allowed to move through seasons that are not always clear. What if I didn't need to be okay right now to still be whole? From performing stability to emotional honesty, not because you've given up on well-being, but because you've recognized that forcing yourself to feel a certain way is just another form of violence. A quieter one, maybe, but violence nonetheless. You are not required to be calm, clear, or composed at all times. You are allowed to be exactly as you are, tired, uncertain, still figuring it out. And that too is enough. 7. Let go of avoiding uncomfortable emotions. You've gotten good at keeping yourself busy. There's always something to distract you. Work, scrolling, noise, movement. And when an uncomfortable emotion rises, grief, loneliness, that old familiar shame, you know exactly how to sidestep it. You shift your attention. You rationalize it away. You tell yourself you'll deal with it later, when you have time, when you're stronger. But later never comes. And meanwhile, those unfelt emotions don't disappear. They settle somewhere in your body. They become the tightness in your jaw, the exhaustion you can't explain, the heaviness that follows you from room to room. You thought you were protecting yourself by not feeling, but avoidance has its own weight. A teacher once said, "Pain that is not transformed is transmitted." What we refuse to feel doesn't dissolve, it waits, quietly shaping how we move through the world. You recognize this, don't you? The way certain emotions feel too big, too messy, too much. The way you've learned to numb rather than feel, to distract rather than stay. And beneath the avoidance, a quiet fear. If I let myself feel this, I won't be able to stop. It will swallow me whole. What emotion am I not allowing to exist right now? Maybe it's the grief you've been carrying since that loss you never fully mourned. Maybe it's the anger you've been taught is unspiritual, ungraceful. Maybe it's just the loneliness that arises in the quiet, the one you've been running from for years. Buddhist wisdom speaks gently here. Presence heals more deeply than avoidance. Not presence that fixes or solves, but presence that simply allows. That sits with what is, without needing to change it, escape it, or make it mean something about who you are. What if I could stay with this feeling, just for this breath, without needing it to go away? From resistance to staying with what is. Not because the emotion suddenly becomes pleasant or because you've mastered something, but because you've recognized that the suffering isn't in the feeling itself, it's in the resistance to it, in the constant turning away. When you finally let yourself feel what's been waiting, when you stop running, something unexpected happens. The emotion doesn't destroy you the way you feared. It moves through you, yes. It asks something of you. But it also reveals something, that you are larger than any single feeling, that you can hold grief and still breathe, that you can sit with loneliness and still be whole. The feeling becomes just weather passing through a vast sky, and you are the sky itself, not the clouds. This is the paradox. The emotions we avoid grow heavier in the avoiding. The ones we finally allow to be, to rise, to crest, to pass, lose their power to haunt us. Not because we've defeated them, but because we've stopped making them mean something terrible about who we are. When you finally let yourself feel what's been waiting, when you stop running, something unexpected happens. The emotion moves, it breathes, it doesn't consume you the way you feared. It simply passes through, the way weather passes through an open sky. You don't have to carry what you refuse to feel. You can let it be here, with you. 8. Let go of the belief that everything must be figured out. Your mind keeps returning to the same questions. What should I do about this relationship? What's the right path forward? What does all of this mean? You turn them over and over, searching for the answer that will finally settle things, the clarity that will let you rest. But the answers don't come, or they come and then dissolve again, and you're left with that familiar frustration. I just need to figure this out. Then I can move forward. But here's what the urgency misses. Some questions aren't meant to be answered right now. Some things can't be figured out in advance. Life isn't a problem waiting to be solved. It's an unfolding that reveals itself as you move through it, not before. A student asked, "How will I know when I've understood?" The teacher smiled and said, "When you stop asking to understand before you've lived it." You know this tension well, don't you? The way your mind grips onto uncertainty, trying to force resolution. The way you believe that peace lives on the other side of knowing, that you can't relax until you've worked it all out. And so you exhaust yourself trying to see around corners, predict outcomes, find the one right answer that will make everything clear. What if I don't need to know yet? Not because knowing isn't valuable, but because right now, in this moment, the not knowing is simply where you are. And trying to force understanding before it's ready doesn't bring wisdom, it only brings more tension. Buddhist wisdom speaks of this gently. Wisdom grows in the space of not knowing, in the willingness to sit with questions that don't have answers yet, in the trust that life will reveal what you need to see when you need to see it. Not on your timeline, not when you demand it, but in its own unfolding. What if the not knowing itself is teaching me something I couldn't learn by figuring it out? From urgency to trust. Not because you've suddenly become comfortable with uncertainty, but because you've stopped fighting it quite so hard. Because you've recognized that the need to have everything figured out is just another way of trying to control what can't be controlled. Some things will become clear in time. Some things never will. And either way, you can still be here breathing, moving, living, even without all the answers. Life is not meant to be solved before it's lived. You don't need to know yet. You only need to be here, now, with what is. So here you are. The room around you hasn't changed, but something inside might feel a little lighter. Not because you've fixed anything, not because you've suddenly become someone new, but because you've recognized what you've been carrying, and maybe, just for this moment, you've set a few things down. Each act of letting go creates space within, space for breath, space for quiet, space for the life that's already here, waiting to be met without all the weight you thought you had to carry. Peace was never something to be earned or achieved. It was never hiding on the other side of becoming better, knowing more, or finally figuring it all out. It's been here all along, beneath the striving, beneath the fear, beneath the invisible race you didn't know you'd entered. Revealed not by adding, but by releasing. You are not behind. You are not late to your own life. You are arriving, breath by breath, exactly as you are. If something in this video surfaced quietly for you, I'd love to know. Leave a single word in the comments, just one, something you're sitting with right now. Or share this with someone who feels tired, not broken. Someone who needs to hear that peace isn't a destination, but a return. And if you find yourself drifting again, if the weight returns, you can come back here. This conversation will be waiting. For now, take one slow breath before you leave. Let yourself land, just for a moment, in the stillness you've been searching for. You've always been enough. You've always been home.